All right. Hi, how are you doing today?
I am well, Aaliyah. How are you?
Good. That's great. I'm great. Thanks for asking. We are here with the wonderful Pierre. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, jumping right into it, Road to Halftime. Please tell me a little bit about Road to Halftime. What is it? Why do we need it?
Oh, absolutely. Of course. So, Road to Halftime essentially is the opportunity for independent artists to put feet to fire, so to speak, right? For those out there in the internet world, television broadcasting world, and of course, social media world, you all know of the hit show American Idol, right? Or America's Got Talent. Well, we decided to take a different route instead of going with $100,000 grand prize and a recording contract. Your journey basically starts from the competition, and if you are selected, it ends in where you perform in front of 30,000 people at an NBA or sports halftime show in the arena.
Wow, that's awesome. Where did that concept come up? Was it in college? Was it something you always wanted to do? You thought about it because when those ideas hit the brain, it's like I could sit on it or I can pounce and jump on this opportunity.
Absolutely. So this idea concept, it really started about 3 years ago in 2022, the end of 2021, coming into 2022. We were just coming out of the pandemic,
Mhm.
slowly but surely, right? All praises for those of us who made it out.
Yeah.
Um, and as this concept began to unfold, the Orlando Magic had proposed an opportunity to me, saying, "Hey, Pierre, we love what you're doing for pregame show entertainment. We saw the last performance you did prior to the pandemic. It was extensive. It had props. It had a theme. We want to take that on a grand scale. How about a halftime show?" And so I began to cultivate, and I turned to a few close people to me. They gave me an amazing recommendation, which is the other half of Road to Halftime, my business partner Gene Culver. So shout
Mhm.
out to him. He and I started sitting down in 2022 and begin to kind of create the narrative or the infrastructure, so to speak. Gene loved the concept. We just didn't know what to call it yet, right? So the reality is that this has been brewing since 2022, and we wanted a way to celebrate independent artistry while also bringing awareness to sports and entertainment as well.
What a wonderful blend. So, Road to Halftime, the name, it kind of just fell in your lap. Or like, did you have the whiteboard going in the back? Were you juggling names back and forth? Because that is perfect. It flows beautifully.
As a matter of fact, the whiteboard did pop out. It popped out about at least a good 10 times, to
Gotta
be
have those
honest with you,
whiteboards. Gotta have.
right? So continuously for almost a year. And Gene was like, "Hey, I love it. I want you to go do some digging and come back. Go do some digging and come back." And so it took me a while, and of course, as I began to formulate this, it was originally the Orlando Magic Music Awards when I started it. And then when I sat down with Gene, Gene provided some structure, being the fact that he's been in the industry before. And he was like, "Look, if we're gonna put this into something that's formidable and potentially profitable for just about everybody that's involved in it, we need to track the journey. We want to turn this into something." And so Gene had the amazing idea of creating what is known as the documentary version of Road to Halftime. So I am the full blown production, choreography, execution. You can call myself the show producer, right?
Okay.
And Gene is the videography, that visionary when it comes to filming it, and what needs to be tracked and how it needs to be tracked and all those other great things. So it's two halves coming into a whole, so to speak.
That's great. And it's really easy when the both of the relationships and the connection just really fits. It just flows.
Probably one of the strongest business love to hate relationships ever.
Yeah.
We don't love to hate each other, but our
Mhm.
ideas sometimes can come across very grandiose, right?
Mhm.
So we have to bring each other down. Like we're both like two helium balloons, right? We'll blow
Right.
ourselves up and then we'll start
Mhm.
floating away, and we'll be like, "Hey, hey, 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 come back,
All right, you're getting beside yourself. All right, come
Yeah,
knock
like
it down.
come back. Like, hey, I love the idea. That's a little bit grand. Come back to us. Come
Right,
back. So
right.
we keep each other tied to the train, so to speak, and that's what we like to call this concept, this idea. It's a slow moving train. And so that there are a lot of moving pieces and parts in it. Having different individuals like Viral Stardom, different companies that are involved, such as Viral Stardom, having them come alongside of us as the
Yes.
future, right? As the future unfolds, we'll definitely love to see what that collaboration looks like as well.
We would love to see that as well. So that's why we're here. Where can we essentially see RTH?
Oh, okay. Well, the latest and greatest that's been cooking has been Charlotte, North Carolina. We're still kind of working through, the maturation process with that. We've also had a conversation with the Atlanta Hawks as well, and their organization
Oh,
is also.
okay.
So this is a thing. So it's beginning to happen and it's beginning to manifest. So what Gene and I want to make sure, most importantly, even for me on the show production side, when I speak of a slow moving train, I want to take people to the epic show on TNT called Snowpiercer.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure that every cart is accounted for, that the engine is accounted for, but most importantly, the people that are getting on the train are authentic. And they've created and brought something to the table because essentially this train is going to feed all of those involved, right? And as we
Right.
continue to make this run around the world, same way the Snowpiercer did on TNT, there will be stops and opportunities for
Mm-hmm.
everyone to kind of like get in where they fit in. And so that's where, you're going to be able to see RT, Road to Halftime,
Mm-hmm.
RTH kind of make its debut. We're traveling across the country. We've got probably the next 6 cities already lined out. We can't really speak too far on those other four, but what we
Okay.
can talk about right now is Charlotte, the Hornets organization, and the Atlanta Hawks. So
That's
that's where we
awesome.
are right now.
You guys are in motion. Y'all are rolling. So speaking of that train, how can people get on that train? How can
Ooh,
mm-hmm.
that's a very good question. Okay, let's talk about that. So
Yes.
for first and foremost, everybody out there who has access to a mobile phone, I definitely want you all to go to road2halftime.com. That's ROAD like Delta, T like
Mm-hmm.
Tango, O like Oscar, halftime.com. Make sure you subscribe. And then not only that, but go to the very bottom of the webpage and go on and log into your Instagram handle and follow us on Instagram as well. Road to Halftime. And you'll see our actual logo there to be able to follow us on our journey as well as we highlight these independent artists. Now, I will say this that as things begin to mature and the train continues to grow, Gene is going to be bringing in an element which is really cool from what I know is what we call the music conference. And so that's going to be an exclusive opportunity for artists that are very serious about their craft, that want to look at like different sync licensing opportunities and things of that nature to really get involved and get some really good information. So be on the lookout, y'all. Road to Halftime is not just a train; it's a journey. It's an experience in itself.
Right. It's a bunch of opportunities presented in itself, and we are definitely going to be on the lookout for it. And when you get these participants, what are things that you're looking for? What is it what are the qualifications that you're looking for when it comes to these artists or these songwriters or whomever is just interested in a position or opportunity like this?
Oh, of course, of course. Well, for those who are actually interested in participating in Road to Halftime, first and foremost, don't forget go online, roadtohalftime.com, subscribe to the newsletter. But most importantly, as you're submitting your music, make sure you have a unclean version and a clean version, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to make sure you have both. Most importantly, what we're really looking for is talent. We're looking for talent and people that can sing,
Yeah.
rap, and that have the creative soul inside of them. Now, granted, do we love comedy? Do we love drama? Absolutely. What is a documentary without it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without seeing the funnies or the individuals that be like, I think I can sing. But
Right.
genuinely, what we want is we want those artists that have been, singing in open mics, to really be able to come out of that bubble,
Mm-hmm.
because the ultimate goal is, and this is what any record label, for those who are wanting to get signed to a potential record label, they want to know that you can put cheeks in seats. So they want to know
Mm-hmm.
that you can fill a stadium, right? And what's the best way to showcase that opportunity than by participating in Road to Halftime, where now you can be featured at an NBA or sports halftime show and fill cheeks and seats.
Exactly. It's not enough just to be able to sing. You know, you got to be able to perform. We're not out here like the city girls just rapping and then they stammer all low, can't keep up, puffing and puffing in the microphone. We need all three. You got to perform, you got to know how to sing, hold the crowd and everything. Because, like I tell people, I can perform, I just can't sing. I might look like an Aaliyah on the inside, but don't ask me to come up on that open mic because I won't.
Oh
Mm-mm.
Lord.
You to be very disappointed.
Oh Lord.
We're not
Well,
doing that.
listen. Hey, it's
Mm-mm.
all right. Well, Aaliyah, like I said before, at the end of the day, for those artists that are selected, I will say this: your journey becomes an all-out experience for your family and friends. So you actually get background dancers, which I have the pleasure of auditioning. I'm also a choreographer. So when I say I'm the show producer, I'm literally like Dave Scott from You Got Served. So for those out there in the world who watch You Got Served, shout out to Shane Sparks, Dave Scott, all of those great choreographers, Omari, Rowe, that have done a great job. You Got Served basically took off with dance crews out here. Obviously, they
Yeah.
were inspired from the movie Breaking. R.I.P. to the late and great Ozone,
Yes.
Shabadoo, we miss you. And great credibility to Poppin' Pete, Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers, R.I.P. to Bruno Falcon, Poppin' Taco. Those are some of the greats that actually paved the way for movies like You Got Served, Step Up
Mhm.
series, all of those great things that all the great dance movies that we see out here today, even including Stomp the Yard. So we actually build out an entire show for you because, like you said before, you got to have those three elements, right? You got to be a showman. You got to have great showmanship. At the end of
Yep.
the day, you also have to have great talent, which means you got to be able to sing, and then you got to have crowd control. So you got to have something. Your music has to be able to capture the crowd and get everybody moving. So that's what we build around the artists that are selected, and we track their journey.
That sounds like a lot of work, and I'm sure it's a lot of work well done and thought out. That is awesome.
Absolutely,
Yes. So,
of
okay.
course.
How did you hear about little old us, viral stardom, our project here that we have?
Absolutely. So, Aaliyah, believe it or not, I had the esteemed pleasure of getting to Mr. Steven. And of course, Steven and I are almost, you could say, kind of like family in a way, not by blood, but by academic affiliation.
Okay.
So I actually, my 9 to 5 job is I work as a career advisor for the illustrious school known as Full Sail University, down here in Winter Park, Florida. So for those who have had the esteemed pleasure of attending Full Sail, you get access to career advisors, you get access to all type of resources. It's absolutely amazing. So Stephen and I had the esteemed pleasure of actually being on the phone, and Stephen shared his vision, and I talked to him a little bit more about what Road to Halftime is and what that looks like, and how we track the journey, and of course, naturally, we just hit it off. So we've been in conversation ever since, and we're actually excited to come up to the DC DMV area, and really show out. And we've got some connections up there too, by the way. So Aladdin the Prince, shout out to Aladdin the Prince up there. One of the radio hosts, he's Orlando grown, and then shout out to CC. We see you, Sierra. She actually works with the Washington Wizards. So that's pretty cool. So yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Well, make sure when you come up here now, if you're coming up anytime soon, bring your jacket, okay?
Oh
Bring
yeah,
your
I heard y'all. I
gloves.
heard y'all kind of cold up that way.
Because the
Ooh,
snow that just came through a few days ago, it was uninvited, but it
ooh
came anyway.
wee.
Didn't even
Oh
bring a meal.
Lord.
Didn't even bring any press. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not a meal. Not nan, nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing.
Not even the
Oh.
sunshine after. It didn't bring anything else for us. So
Mm.
just kind
Oh
of barged
goodness.
in here. No rent paid, offered, nothing like that. So
Oh my
okay.
goodness. Oh
Well, I
Lord. Well,
do
listen.
have one more question for you. And I just
Absolutely.
wanna maybe two, maybe one or two.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
wanna
yeah.
so
Go for it.
imagine that, it's your turn, you're performing, you have a set on Road to Halftime, it's halftime. What would be your set? You told me about your experience and you have a background in dancing, but what would be your
Hmm.
set? What would you put on? Paint me an elaborate
Oh wee.
picture.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, first and foremost, my biggest thing is I want to take people on a roller coaster ride. There's nothing more spiritual than the art of dance. And a lot of people don't know, but dance in itself just has a free flowing energy to it that makes everybody want to move, right? So naturally, when I create shows that actually go up and come down and go up and come down, much like an EKG machine for those who have been in the hospital and you've seen machines that check your heart rate, right?
Mhm.
And and your heart has that heartbeat to it. So naturally, you always want to start off with something slow. Come in with a slow opportunity. We had the amazing pleasure for season one. Dida Joe, shout out to Dida Joe. He came in and he reminds me of a Lenny Kravitz mixed with like an Anderson Paak. So guitar expertise and electric guitar came in and brought some heat, and then we began to follow that same mantra because what we wanted to create was we wanted to create a build up, and our build up was towards the end with KO Man. So KO Man, shout out to you, Miami Dade 305, Josh Gordon. He's pissed. I see you out there. Um, and so KO Man was kind of our big finale, right? And KO Man actually went into the studio and he created a record just for halftime. He actually
Wow.
had a track that he showed up with, and he was, we kind of went back and forth. Gene, Gene is while Gene is very accepting of all
Mhm.
genres of music, rap is not his best forte, so to speak.
Okay.
While Gene is very old school, so very Marvin Gaye, Aretha
Mhm.
Franklin,
Mm.
the Temptations,
Yes.
and so he's in that type of mind frame. So he's looking for real, authentic singing, lyrical songwriting.
Mhm.
And so when it comes to rap and hip hop, that's not just particularly like his forte. So
Yeah.
that's where he leans on me, right? As a younger individual. So I'm coming in and I got a chance to sit down with KO Man and we walked through kind of his records and walked through those things, and we found one was like, yo, this is it. And he went in that studio, he cooked it up, and it was a banger. And so the crowd loved it, so it was cool.
Wow, how reassuring does that feel, when it just all comes together? How does that feel?
Absolutely. Listen, Aaliyah, I'm gonna tell you just like I tell anybody in the world, like if you've got a vision in your heart and it's been given to you from any of your spiritual creators, right? So for those who have a spiritual creator,
Mhm.
mine is God.
Yes.
Um, you know, I was given this vision at the age of 19. And so I've been through this journey over half my life to see this manifested. And every single opportunity that I've had has allowed me to put myself in a learning position, in a learning posture, to meet the right people, to be humble enough to be in the right rooms at the right time. And so to see all of it manifest before me, it was very emotional. I had the best people around me. I had all the people I
Mhm.
loved and cared about around me in my presence. It just felt good to be in the presence of my family. And shout out to anybody out there that goes through what creatives go through. I think we all
Mhm.
suffer from a small amount of what we call imposter syndrome, right? Where
Yes.
you believe that you can do it, but then when you try to get ready to move, it's like,
All these
eh,
different obstacles just come in, the procrastination, the negativity, the confidence, self-esteem. I understand.
there you go. That's it. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you all this. Like, don't give up. Everything that you're doing in life is a test. We are celestial beings having an earthly experience. So the only way to go back to get recharged is to go back to your source, your creator, your spiritual creator. So you all tap into that, and that's a part of the reason why I continue to push forward with the road to halftime, no matter what happens, whatever obstacles we might face. Gene and I have had to walk away from some deals before because it doesn't fit brand. And so while those moments can be disappointing because you really want them, you have to remember what you're doing it for. So everybody out there that's listening to the sound of my voice, get to your spiritual creator, figure out where it is where you need to go. The world is dangerous. There are so many people that are out here wanting to take your joy and take your creation and manipulate it. So don't let people take that from you. You've earned the right to be in this space. You've worked your butt off. You worked hard. Every obstacle that you've overcome, every milestone you've ever hit. Don't even let your family tell you anything different. Sometimes you got
Absolutely.
to be absolutely delusional, and then when you prove it, you be like, look, we knew this the whole time. So
Yep.
continue to show compassion out there. So all my creatives, keep your head up. It's our time. 2024 started the journey for all of us. So
Mhm.
2025 is us moving forward. No matter who's in office, we ain't worried about none of that right now. What's done is done,
Absolutely.
and we have to press forward. We have a mark of a high calling to get to.
Well, thank you so much, Pierre, for closing out with those wonderful words of wisdom. I know I'll take something from that because I'm gonna go write a few of those gems down that you just said in my journal. But I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. And I really hope we can Bible Stardom, we can all look forward to cooking something up together in 2025. Did you want to let anybody know, any last thing that, something about you or yourself, or just Road to Halftime? What would you like us to know about Road to Halftime?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats, dogs, chickens, as Manny Fresh would say, right? We are all in this space to work together. Just continue to tap into your own energy, right? Love those around you. Continue to be great. This isn't just my journey, y'all. This isn't just my space for me to just like make whatever I want. But this is my space to share it with other people that are going in the same direction. Remember, told y'all in the beginning, this is a train. Everybody that gets on it, your ticket will be punched. You will be known that you are here. And so I want you all to feel seen, feel heard. For myself, as a producer, choreographer, uh, dancer extraordinaire, I love music. I love everything about it. Viral stardom, y'all are on y'all way. We see you all, making some really good headway, and we're excited to partner with you all in the coming seasons, um, to turn the DMV into something magnanimous. Hopefully, we can find us another Pharrell or Timberland out of that space somewhere, right? Because that we there's some in the water, as they say up there. So
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Thank you so much again. And with that being said, I'm closing it out and I thank you so much. And we will hear from you guys definitely, hopefully soon.
absolutely, Aaliyah, I appreciate you. Thank you, Stephen, for the amazing interview. Y'all be
You
great.
too. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right.
Playboy like my name was cut. All my black Barbies, please they come and roll on me. It's like I got on. Playboy like my name was cut. All my black Barbies.